I'm gonna do a real quick garden tour this morning. Several of you have been asking, and the weather hasn't been cooperating and my health hasn't been cooperating, so I'm gonna fit this in really quick. We're at the outside garden, and I did put up this poultry netting around it, so Cowboy over there wouldn't be peeing on everything. So that's why we have the fencing up for now. I got the okra, burgundy red, crimson spineless, tomatoes. I have 2 cattle panels. They are Roma, Amish paste, lemon boy, Kellogg's breakfast, German pink. I also have some basil and dill in there with the tomatoes. Over here is some peppers. There are banana peppers, jalapenos, and bell peppers. On the back wall is my sweet potatoes. They're planted in straw bales. And as the vines grow, I wrap the vines around the pallet fence, and it doesn't take up any space. And right here, I've already dug my Yukon Gold potatoes. There's still a few in there. And then I have a rain barrel, 2 compost bins. This is bin number 1. It's been working since last year. This is bin number 2. It will be next year's. And then here is the pallet fence that everybody's been asking about. The pallet fence, we got the pallets for free at my husband's workplace. Besides pastoring a church, he works at a small lumber mill. And they go 9 in length this way, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's a perfect square out here. And then the 2 compost bins. And then there's some pallets under the rain barrels. And we set these posts, and we use the pallet for a gate so Cowboy wouldn't get in there. He's just a stinker. I don't really do much out here. I don't have the energy usually, but I have a few sunflowers and zinnias planted. We go in. All of the beds was free lumber from my husband's workplace. That was a blessing. There's more pallets. These were some pallet boxes, and I was very happy to get those. So I have peppers, every kind, jalapenos, cayennes, jalapeno, banana, yellow bells. That's going on in there. I only have 2 celebrity tomato plants. My husband likes those because he says they taste like his grandma's tomatoes when he was growing up. They are hybrids, and I don't really plant hybrids, but I did that for him. And then there's another rain barrel that I put together myself. I got the barrels at Tractor Supply. I cut the tops off. I put the spigot in. I got it off of Amazon, and then I put tulle on the top that I got from Joann Fabrics for about 89 cents a yard, and that keeps all the yuck out. And then I have a bucket with fish fertilizer that's ready to do my outside tomatoes that's in the other garden. Here is peppermint and chocolate mint. I have a herb bed that's my 2nd year. There's all kinds of stuff in here. There's rosemary, oregano, lavender, dill. Never had any luck with chives. Lemon balm, echinacea, lemon thyme, English thyme, calendula, bee balm, lemon balm, marshmallow, comfrey, lemon thyme, stevia, chamomile. There's some sunflowers coming up, sweet 100 cherry tomato. And then back there are some more sunflowers coming up. My very first little zipper spider, I always called them. A little garden spider. And then we got this concrete and what's that stuff called, wrought iron. We got that at Rural King because I wanted a place to sit out here and rest and do my Bible study and cut up vegetables, and I've really enjoyed having that in the garden. And then a little bath for the butterflies, and the bees like it too. And some seashells that my little neighbor kids brought me from the ocean, and this was from the thrift store, and that's from the Dollar Tree. And then here's my strawberry bed. It was pallets, and I've got June bearing and ever bearing. So I have strawberries from April till October usually. And in this bed, that's a flower that I got at Lowe's. It was on sale. These were some extra tomato plants I stuck in here. I'm not sure what they're going to be. That's going to be a surprise. And then I just planted a new bed of beans, which is the flat Italian Roma 2 green bean, which is my favorite, and I can't wait to can some of those up this fall. The beds, I do have numbers on them, so when I do my garden journal, I can write the number of the bed and what was planted when. I have a zinnia. I didn't get as many flowers planted this year as I did last year, but like I would have liked to, but my health just didn't permit. These are the burgundy bush beans, and I love those. They have good flavor and they're fun to cook and watch them turn from purple to green. Now this was something new this year, is the scarlet runner beans. They're here and here. I kind of wanted them more for their pretty looks because I built this bamboo trellis last year and I really enjoyed having it, and I put some netting on it from In My Gardener, and it's really climbed up it well. So I'm not sure if we'll eat these beans. They were kind of big seeds, so we'll see. And as you come through, there's another little flower, and these are one of my favorite beans, and it is the rattlesnake bean. And this is a cattle panel that we put in last year, and there's some sweet little bees helping us out on our tour. They're blooming and producing. Last year I had rattlesnake beans all the way up until October, until I was just sick of picking beans. You ever been there? And then here was an extra tomato plant. Doesn't look like it's doing real good. Here I've been disappointed in this bean. And it's named after my home state, Kentucky Wonder pole beans. And they didn't germinate well, and I replanted. And they still didn't come up great. But I'm interested to see how they taste. I do have one small mess in the refrigerator, waiting on a few more. As you come on through this trellis, we're still in with the scarlet runner beans, which are just pretty. I just like them. I have a couple of yellow squash plants, and I have one zucchini plant and two patty pan squash plants. We just harvested all the cabbage from this bed, and this is the other side of where the Kentucky pole beans are. And this is the red leaf sorrel. It stays around forever. And then some nasturtiums. I didn't get as many of those planted this year either. And then this is my first year asparagus bed. I'm just letting it grow wild and establish its roots. And then here I've tried to grow big onions forever, and I just can't do it. These were supposed to be purple onions. They just didn't do right. Carrots are coming along. I love planting carrots in these little beds. They're out of the way. It doesn't take up a big bed of summer space. I just picked a few yesterday for me and the rabbit. Then I have this old cast iron sink that I got at the flea market for $25, and it is heavy. We like to have never got this thing in here. And I'm gonna fix a plug in here where I can wash off my vegetables and stuff, but right now I just have this little tub. When it rains in it, I wash my vegetables in there. And then here I have sunflowers and marigolds, I believe. They're late, but it's just an experiment. And here we harvested potatoes, and here harvested potatoes. I only planted Yukon Gold this year, and I got quite a few. And I stuck some okra in here as an experiment for next year to see if I can actually grow okra inside. And I've stuck a few watermelon seeds and pumpkin seeds in here to see if I can let the vines just grow out through here after the summer stuff gets done and I clean it up in here. And then these are the tubs that I have my potatoes in here. And this was the old nest box that came out of the chicken coop. So I like to do experiments and teach people that they can grow anything, anywhere. You just got to give it a try. You can't be scared of trying. And then I tried some experiments in these little things from the Dollar Tree. Well, that was a flop, so glad it was only $1. And you can see here is the sweet potato vines. I've got them growing up here. And they're in these straw bales. Here's my other water thing. Here's the back side of all of this stuff. There's a little chicken. This is a greenhouse that we got from Rural King a couple of years ago. And the plastic that came on it lasted one day and it was gone. But the greenhouse has held up pretty good over the past couple of winters. But all the storms and stuff we've had this year, it's broken here, broke up there, and I had to put duct tape everywhere. So I'll probably be taking it down soon. But it does make for good storage. I've never really used it for a greenhouse because it gets over 100 degrees in there. There's no window or ventilation or anything, but it's perfect for storage, and that's all I really need. So that is a fairly good overview of my garden. It's messed up quite a bit right now. We've had so much rain, and then it'll be a drought, and then we'll have so much rain again. And I've been having some health issues this summer, and I messed up my back when I turned a somersault over a laundry basket a few weeks ago, so I've been dealing with that. Found out I'm too old for that. But isn't this little butterfly beautiful to end us out? So pretty. This butterfly reminds me of the most important thing about this garden. When we moved here, I was so concerned about where would my new prayer closet be. When we lived in the parsonage beside the church, I had a room that was dedicated to Bible art journaling and prayer closet. I had it beautiful, and I really was grieved about where would my new prayer closet be. And we built this garden, and we were setting it up, and one night God called me out here in the rain, and I came out here sobbing, and he said, "This is where I will meet you. This is your new prayer closet." And he couldn't have gave me a more beautiful place to meet him and to fellowship with him and to cry out to him. So I hope you enjoyed this garden tour from Faith Haven Farm.